A winter storm on track to clobber Colorado.
If we get even half of what's projected, it's going to be very detrimental.
Several feet of snow could pile up in some areas, and there are new warnings for drivers.
Now is the time to be prepared.
Facing tough conditions this weekend, Coloradans are already stocking up to hunker down.
I don't think I've seen this many people in one enclosed area since COVID started.
School districts already debating whether to switch to remote learning if the storm forces a snow day.
Plus, full protection just a shot away.
We're still waiting for that second dose.
And one man contacts Denver7 after he struggled to get an appointment for that critically important second COVID vaccine dose.
All right, take it in, everybody. A beautiful look over Denver tonight. These clear skies are not going to last. Our entire team continues to monitor that incoming snowstorm.
Right now, the storm is over Nevada, still hundreds of miles away. But we want to make sure you are prepared because this one, as we've been saying, could dump feet, not inches of snow across parts of the Front Range.
And that's, of course, why we are under a Denver7 Weather Action Day. There's a lot of uncertainty with this storm. We are committed to giving you the most up-to-date information so you can make the right choices for your family.
Bring updates tonight and minute by minute through the worst of the storm this weekend. And if you do have to head out, Sloan Dickey is going to take a look at what you need to know ahead of time.
First, let's get to Denver7 Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. And Mike, it's a few days away, but the scale of this storm means we need to get the word out early.
We do. And finally, the storm is in the United States. It was out in the Pacific Ocean for the last several days, but it's moved into California, heading into Nevada. So it's now a position where we can get a lot more information from the weather balloons, the surface observations, to see what this storm is going to do as it gets closer to us. Right now, there's a little bit of snow out west, and there have been a few showers out on the eastern plains. The winter storm watch goes into effect Friday late afternoon and continues through Monday morning across all of north central Colorado. That's the area that's going to be hit the hardest right along the I-25 corridor, especially the mountains and foothills to the west of us. Nothing to worry about tonight, and frankly, through early Friday, nothing to really worry about. Here's the snow timeline. About 48 hours from the peak of that storm getting in here. Light rain and snow tomorrow and Friday. It really picks up Friday night, Saturday into Sunday. Some areas could see a couple of feet of snow, and I'll show you where those spots are and what you can expect in your neighborhood coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Mike. We'll see you in just a little bit. And CDOT does not want to see a repeat of this. Cars and trucks just on a standstill on the interstate. This was that fierce bomb cyclone in March 2019. The agency says anybody planning to travel to the mountains should get there before Friday evening. Denver7 Sloan Dickey joins us live tonight. So, Sloan, if you got to travel this weekend, it's going to be messy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that snow, to be honest, for the skiers and snowboarders among us, that's some pretty good news. But if you are planning to take I-70 up to the slopes this weekend, Colorado State Patrol has one word for you. Don't. They say all it takes is one crash to potentially shut down the highway or interstate for hours. Now, there are other Coloradans who are preparing in a different way. They're going to the store and buying their preparedness. They say that they'll be spending this weekend on the couch.
You don't want to wait one more day. I think tomorrow will be crazy.
When it comes to preparing for the big storm,
Protein bars for breakfast, toilet paper, just a necessity, and laundry detergent.
Coloradans are stocking up, heading to the grocery store before the snow starts falling.
I was just on the phone with my mom. I was telling her that I don't think I've seen this many people in one enclosed area since COVID started.
Most of us will hunker down, and state officials are urging everyone to stay off the roads this weekend as feet of snow are expected.
If we get even half of what's projected, it's going to be very detrimental overall.
Colorado State Patrol Trooper Josh Lewis says his team is hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst.
Now is the time to be prepared. Ultimately, if you can go out, get any supplies that you need to before the snow starts falling or accumulating, be hunkered down.
And even though you're asked to stay home, State Patrol expects a busy weekend on the roads.
We're going to see an influx of vehicles off the road, crashes that occur.
Also, don't forget the traction laws. You must have either a four-wheel or all-wheel drive vehicle. If you don't, you must have chains or snow tires with at least 3/16 of an inch of tread. And if you're caught, prepare to face hefty fines.
Be aware that just because you've driven in snow before doesn't mean you're safe this time.
The South Metro Fire Department is requesting that people plan ahead as much as possible, including gathering groceries, medications, and emergency supplies. They're also asking people to help clear snow in front of neighborhood fire hydrants. EMS crews expect delay times when responding to emergencies.
You got to be prepared.
In case you do get stranded somewhere, the Red Cross is opening emergency shelters, telling Denver7 in a statement that several locations across Colorado have been identified.
Now, again, officials say that if you don't have to travel this weekend, stay home. But Denver International Airport, they're preparing as well. They say they're going to be plowing those runways, trying to get those planes in and out in an orderly fashion. But they also say expect those cancellations and delays. United already offering waivers for potential travelers this weekend. Ann?
Everybody's preparing. All right, Sloan, thank you for that. And of course, a big storm creates a big question for parents. Will our kids get a snow day? And a lot of you reached out to us already. We are following up with schools. No district has announced plans for Monday just yet, but several updated their snow day policy. DPS Denver says its new strategy is to do a traditional snow day if the severe weather is brief. If it's going to stretch out over multiple days, students will start remote learning on the second day. Now, Jeffco is keeping 3 options on the table: a 2-hour delay, a snow day, or a district-wide remote day. For Douglas County schools, a snow day means no class for elementary and middle school students. No such luck for high schoolers. They shift to remote learning for the day. And keep in mind, Douglas County and several other districts are on spring break next week anyway. Unfortunately, the storm is already disrupting COVID vaccine clinics. Kaiser Permanente says it will postpone the clinics it planned for Saturday and Sunday, and staff will contact everyone who is supposed to get a shot and rebook them for the following weekend. All Kaiser medical offices will be open on normal hours. A mass vaccination event put on by the Latino Equity Clinic in Weld County, that has been canceled. It was supposed to take place on Sunday, and the new date is March 21st.
And there was some question about whether Denver residents still have to have their sidewalks cleared 24 hours after it stops snowing when we get the amount of snow we're talking about here. Great question. You're going to hate the answer. I called Laura Schwartz with the city's Planning and Development Department, and guess what? She said no matter how much snow we get, you have to have the sidewalks cleared within 24 hours after it stops snowing. Sorry about that. She said it's a matter of safety because, of course, people have to use the sidewalk. So rest up. Looks like there's some shoveling in your near future. And just anecdotally, I was at Lowe's yesterday, 11 a.m. The clerk said he himself already had sold 8 snow blowers that morning and said other chains in that area were reporting they were already sold out. So again, rest up. Looks like there's some shoveling in your near future. And you can stay ahead of this storm coverage with our 24/7 weather coverage. We have constantly updated forecasts. We have snow totals. We have live radar and a whole lot more. Search Denver7 on your Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire to start watching for free.
Tonight, a huge pandemic stimulus bill is awaiting President Joe Biden's signature. The House approved the bill today. Most people can expect to receive a $1,400 check by the end of the month. All of Colorado's House Democrats voted for the bill, while all Colorado House Republicans voted against it. On top of that, Colorado is pushing for its own $700 million stimulus package. Republican and Democratic state leaders joined Governor Jared Polis today to announce the plan. It is multi-layered and includes things like sales tax relief for restaurants, projects to expand broadband access, and money for affordable housing. You can read more details on thedenverchannel.com.
The Biden administration announced today it plans to buy an additional 100 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It's not clear when those additional shots will be available. Last week, the Biden administration announced it has plans to have enough doses to vaccinate every adult by the end of May.
And we hear your frustrations with trying to book a vaccination appointment. Many of you pointed out the Walgreens site, for example, shows appointments available. You put in your information, then it doesn't let you book. I tried to, and nothing. So I reached out to Walgreens. Sure enough, there is a temporary outage of their vaccine scheduler. Their spokesperson says they are trying to come up with a fix. And while I know that doesn't get you closer to a vaccine, you can keep trying to book online. You can also try calling 1-800-WALGREENS. That is available to English and Spanish speakers.
And if you're having trouble navigating this process to book a vaccine appointment, you are not alone.
A grandfather reached out to contact Denver7. He says he's been trying to get his second dose for weeks.
He feels hopeless, and now Denver7's CB Cotton is working to get his family some answers.
In a happy union, your partner's worries become yours.
That's what I'm worried about, and I get frustrated.
Worried and frustrated about scheduling for the COVID-19 vaccine. Lucinda, beside her granddaughter, Shauna Ruiz, have both been trying to schedule the second dose for Lucinda's husband, Simon.
We're still waiting for that second dose.
Ruiz says her grandpa, on dialysis, was vaccinated about a month ago at Safeway, and that's where
He let them know that he had a surgery. It was a minor surgery that was coming up in 4 weeks from the time of his shot.
So he would need to reschedule his second vaccine dose slightly later than the pharmacy had planned.
They knew that. They gave him the first vaccine, told them that there wouldn't be any issues.
But when they followed up to schedule, they were told no appointments were available.
So that's where it began.
And the anxiety followed.
He has a brother that is currently in ICU and on a ventilator with COVID. So I think that's kind of triggered a lot of emotions too right now.
And his family feeling them too, calling and visiting Safeway every day to try to schedule a second dose.
From there, it's been constant back and forth.
The struggles come just days after Safeway turned away more than 200 people over the weekend due to what the supermarket says was an unintentional overbooking. Ruiz left hoping her grandfather won't be turned away for a second shot.
He's out in the world and he knows that he's at high risk.
We reached out to Safeway and they tell us they weren't aware of any scheduling difficulties for second dose vaccine appointments. After contacting Denver7, Safeway did reach out to this family late this evening. We'll stay on top of this to make sure it gets resolved. CB Cotton, Denver7.
If the last year has taught us anything, it's that the little things really matter.
Well, gosh, yes, that was marvelous. I couldn't hold her hard enough.
After the strangest of years, we're going 360 asking what you'll never take for granted again.
Whenever it snows, big snows like this, just been wanting to help out the community.
Making sure medical staff get to work safely during the storm. Volunteers are the driving force behind this mission.
This is going to be a big one. I'm tracking the incoming storm.